Let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mikes, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
Alrighty, guys. Here we go again. We'll address this from the beginning, but we ended up having some camera issues.
Imagine that, the two idiots having technical issues.
You know what, though? This time it wasn't our fault.
No, it was actually the camera. So a little bit of a upload-download issue with the camera. Contacted the company. They're going to do right by us. They're sending us the new camera. So we're going to send them back.
They're sending a replacement.
A replacement.
Because there is a newer version.
It's probably, we're not getting the new camera.
If only.
Yeah.
But we're getting a replacement of the same version we had. So a new one to us.
Yes, new to us is good.
So hopefully that one won't have issues. So
there's a hair on your mic and it's driving me nuts, dude.
I see it.
Thank you very much. Sorry, it was like as you were talking, it was going.
It was matching the
It
sound
was
of
driving me nuts.
Yeah, well,
Good times.
hey, that's kind of what we do here, honestly. I can't even speak today. You know what? It's probably from
2 days of golf in the 103-degree heat.
It's been insane.
Yeah.
The other day. So yesterday. So we ended up having to do this a day late.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind schedule.
Yeah, we ended up having to do it a day late because I had one golf tournament. And then I had a buddy of mine. He called me up, or he texted me, or he called me. Then he texted me because I was
Not
busy
answering
with-
the
I was-
phone.
Yeah, I was busy with work stuff. He called me during work, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to play a tournament Saturday?" And I was like, "Oh crap, I have a tournament Saturday," not realizing the dates
Yeah.
because I think it's just a work thing where we're working Groundhog
Yeah.
Day. That I didn't realize the dates, and I was like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
I was like, "Let me double check what day this actually falls on." Got back to him, texted him later. So then I ended up having 2 tournaments back to back, not realizing it's going to be triple digits all week.
Yeah, it's been hot.
It's
so the
insane.
other good thing about that happening is pushing this back a day is our AC unit arrived.
so amazing.
So we have the AC unit right now blowing on us. It dropped the temperature pretty good. We didn't get it started until about an hour or so ago, and it was 100 degrees in the garage, and it's already dropped it to 90.
Yeah.
So a 10-degree difference right now when it's 103 outside is a beautiful thing. So
It's probably hotter than 103, to be honest. But to be
Probably
honest, anything in triple digits that
it's hot.
anything above 95, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what? No, for me, anything above like 90, but 95. Yeah.
Blocking all your AC for my arm.
With those massive forearms you got.
Yeah, they're okay.
I didn't say muscular. I
And
said
just massive. Yeah, right?
It's like a mammoth.
Mammoth tusks.
But so we ended up having to postpone this time because of me, and I ended up playing in 2 golf tournaments. I love playing golf, but holy crap, I didn't realize how much it was going to wear on me to do 2 golf tournaments in this insane heat back to back.
My guess is that you were ready for it to be over with by the end of the 18th hole on the second day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was hurting just
Yeah.
a little bit. I'm a little bit burned.
Finally.
Yeah. I'm starting to brown up.
Oh, yeah. Just looking like some taco meat. It's good stuff.
Looking like some taco meat. I don't have any chest hair showing.
Yeah, right. But no, that's good, man. And we're going to have to postpone, was it next week, too, because I get my days off at work got changed for the next couple of weeks. So
Which,
Yeah, it is what it is.
things happen. We can,
we'll make adjustments.
you know what? I think that's one of your favorite sayings. You
What's that?
say it. You do say it a lot.
It is what
We've
it is?
talked about it. Yeah. We've talked
Oh,
about
yeah,
it before.
I do.
You say it all the time.
Yeah, I've worked for the government for 24
I was waiting for you to
years.
say it.
I've worked for the government for 24 years. I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's one of those coping mechanisms.
Yes, it is. It's a good way to get, when you're getting, it's like they say too, sometimes in the military is embrace the suck.
You know what? And I hate that saying too. I think I think I told someone just the other day that someone told me that they embraced the suck because they had to work. It was something going on. They had to work a certain time or something different. It was kind of off schedule for them, and they said, "Well, I'm ready to embrace the suck."
Yeah.
And then I told them I had to go to work like the next day, and they were just like, "Embrace the suck." And I was like, "I've been in for way too long now
To embrace that
to
suck.
have to embrace the suck."
You know, it depends
That's
on
a-
the suck. Sometimes you want to embrace the suck, sometimes you don't.
Well, that's a different.
Yeah, that's true. That's a
totally
whole different
thing.
topic that we won't get into this week.
I don't know if we can ever get into that one.
Probably
on the
not so
podcast.
well. Probably not so well.
Although if we do build this enough, we might start doing some members only kind of thing
Oh boy.
and do just like
Naked
little
podcasts,
shorts.
what people do not want to see. They'll pay us not to put that on
I
there.
was just about to say,
Hey, this is going to
that's
drop.
actually-
Hit $5, you know, see us.
Hey, I just noticed you didn't put up your sign. You want to?
Well, it's okay. The camera can't see it anyway.
Oh, that's no. It can. I think it kind of catches it a little bit. At least it throws off a little bit of that blue light.
There we go.
You know, you want to be.
Hey, Roxanne, you don't have to turn on the blue light. You're trying to get me to the girl voice?
Yeah,
You should have.
I should have.
There you go. Let me know when you're ready.
And
Roxanne, you don't have to turn on the blue light.
actually, this one might have been a little bit better for that one. Oof.
Gross. Very gross.
I could just imagine you as a woman.
I would not make a beautiful woman. That'd be bad.
That'd be very bad.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to see that.
Yeah, you make me feel like a sensual woman or something like that. I don't know.
If we're gonna be going into songs, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
No.
Could you imagine us two singing songs? Like, it'd be in that same realm. People would pay us not to do it.
Not to do it. Exactly. They'd be like, you guys suck.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, so these whole golf tournaments, they kicked my butt, dude.
Well, they wear you out. Just one, you're out there having a good time and it's
yeah.
fun, but it's so hot. Like you can't drink enough fluids. Water, beer, whatever it is, you
Hey.
can't drink enough of it.
I found a new. Jesus. So I found a new.
Sorry about that. I got a little bit of a cough still.
Well, I was trying to get to it.
Hitting the wrong one.
Hit the wrong button. Got excited.
I heard that.
But no, I have a new word for it. Someone told me a new word for it.
For what?
For beer.
Okay.
Because someone was saying.
Is it like fizz and all this other crap?
No. It's actually, you might like this. So someone was like, make sure hopefully you drank enough water out there. And I was like, beer has water. And,
Yeah,
and
it
so they're
does.
like, it's adult water.
Adult water. Yeah, that's not bad.
Hey, I think that's.
So you do know that during like medieval times and
they used to drink meat
that-
all the time.
they drink basically mead. They drink alcohol because it was actually safer than drinking the water.
Oh, yeah, because that's.
Can you imagine wearing those armor and swinging those big swords around and having to be drunk the whole time doing it because that's all you drank?
You know what? Maybe that's why they did it.
Well, and
you
think
think
about
about
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Here to
I
save
mean,
the
think
day.
about the old West here too.
Oh, yeah.
The water'd kill you so many places that
Well, yeah, because you had so many standing water, especially out west or
Out here, yeah, it's
Arizona
really bad
areas,
out here.
and where it's what do they call it? Sub-desert,
yeah,
technically, but
sub-Saharan.
yeah. So yeah, I could imagine there's a lot of standing
Oh, yeah.
water, and you couldn't really drink it.
Yeah,
Especially back then.
Running water is very rare out here.
And back in those days, if you got diarrhea could kill you.
Oh yeah, could kill me now.
It's not always the best thing to have.
No, we got Imodium, so life's good.
Life's good. Pepto. Have you had? Okay, so I'm a little weird.
Cherry, no.
Cherry
I don't do
Pepto.
cherry.
Cherry Pepto. People don't like it.
Remember we
I
talked
like it.
about this pears and
Pears?
apples. How I don't eat raw
Oh,
apples and
that's
pears and
right.
cherries. I don't eat cherries either.
But you'll eat cooked.
Yes,
That's the weirdest thing.
I'm a strange man. It's almost
I
like I
think-
came off a spaceship.
I think people are on that. I think
Yeah.
people kind of
people
get that.
figured that out already.
And you know what? The whole spaceship thing, I think we saved that for a full episode.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, spaceships are kind of weird.
It's almost like every time you hear that, you're waiting.
I'm going back. I'm waiting for it to land and take me up back to its leader so I can get out of here. It's kind of like pull me out of the Matrix, please. I've had enough.
So that whole thing, simulation theory, crazy. But Matrix made that into a big thing.
Yes.
And if you think about it, have you ever played Civilization?
Oh gosh, a long time ago. Yeah.
It's basically that.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Civilization.
Sim City. Same idea.
I was never a huge fan of Sim.
Same idea though, where you build the
the
buildings and you're doing building.
Sim City
names.
wasn't so bad.
Civilization more so. Yeah.
The Sims.
Yeah. No, Sim
It
City.
was too much drama.
Yeah.
Too much drama for a video game.
Yeah, it's like having all the Kardashians on one show at one time.
How? Sometimes don't you wish you could go back in time and make the whole OJ thing not be a normal thing or
Yes.
not have happened so that the Kardashians would never have happened?
That would be the only reason I'd really care, because those people are a purge on society.
Oh my gosh! But people loved it, and don't get me wrong. I've watched a few episodes. Guilty, not necessarily because I watched them myself, but it was more people I was dating at the time. They enjoyed watching it, so it was kind of something I'd watch with them.
So in other words, you got snookered.
Snookered,
Yeah.
like snooker, like the billiard thing.
No, snookered means you got conned.
Ah, but isn't snooker a billiard?
It is
billiard
also
game?
yeah, it actually is.
Oh,
as
okay,
well.
so I thought it had something to do with that.
No, but that's actually,
But
is it snooker or snooker?
snooker.
Is it?
I think it's
I thought it was snooky.
No,
no,
that's the little Jersey,
That's
Jersey
Jersey
Shore
Shore.
girl. Yeah, that's that.
Or
little one.
snook. Snook is the. Well, look on your laptop. It's easier than me looking on the.
I was about to say you got a little Google machine there, but
Yeah, it works
might
better
be
on
it might
yours.
be easier if I could type.
Snooker. I think it's actually a British game as well.
Snooker is a cue sport played with a rectangular billiards table covered
Okay.
in a green cloth,
Blah, blah,
six
yeah,
pockets. Well, obviously, it's
So
just-
snooker.
Yeah, snooker's a.
So,
it's a
but you got
billiard game.
snookered. See if that's actually a thing or not.
Snookered. ED.
SNOOKERED.
Well, it brought up a dictionary for snooker. Let's see. Past tense, snookered. Subject oneself to a snooker. He potted yellow and green. Oh, that's British. Leave. Parentheses. Someone in a difficult position.
Okay, so
U.S. Trick, entice, or trap.
so my
So
my
your
my
reference was
librarian
actually-
reference is okay.
Librarian. Are they wearing glasses?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're
Then
all good.
Then we're good. It's kind of like using tapestry today when we were talking today. In
Oh,
just a
that's
normal
right.
conversation, I said
Just-
a tapestry.
Who the hell uses tapestry nowadays, though? Honestly, what kind of
Apparently I do.
What kind of normal person?
Well, normal.
That's what I'm saying. Normal people. We're obviously not normal people, but sounded like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, it was a.
You're over here
Laser
playing.
ring.
But since we were talking about snooker, it brought me back into the whole golf thing.
Yeah.
So honestly, it kind of sucks. I could not really hit my driver. In the last 2 days, I hit maybe a total of 4 or 5 pretty good shots with
Well,
my
see,
driver.
what it was is you needed to have me there betting you lunch that you couldn't hit it that far. Because as soon as I do that, that's how you should.
how I hit
You can't hit
360 yards.
350. You can't hit 350. You hit over 350 yards, I'll buy you lunch. Whoosh, 361.
Yeah.
There goes me buying you lunch again. So I know better than to bet on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, longest drive I've hit 380 with that driver that I bought, but I just have not been able to hit it for some reason lately. Just the last few days, and you would think 2 days in a row, okay, I would have figured some things out.
No.
Although I did hit one really good shot today. You know, we still played crappy. Never mind. I was gonna say like it. You know, it brought us back into it. No, we
Not
all
really.
started just towards the end of the day. We just kind of all faded towards the
Yeah.
end of the round.
That happens.
None of us could really hit good shots. We were struggling with putts.
Yeah.
We were struggling all around. And yesterday, it's the same thing. We couldn't make a decent putt.
It's-
Although I did hit a few, remember how we had talked about prior when we were talking with John when we were up at Bike Week
Oh, yeah.
a while back, and he was.
Yeah, he just requested me on Facebook.
Oh, did he? Oh, there you go.
I'm going to back it up and have it blow that.
Oh, yeah. But, so you know the whole thing when we were talking about that, and you talked about how I took out someone's solar panels?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did that at some expensive houses today.
Oh, well, now you know. They
Actually,
decided to
I
live
never
on a
heard-
golf course.
I never heard a roof tile or anything like that. But I hit
You
one.
know what
I
happened.
I smashed a couple of them.
That's
Just completely smashed. They were probably minimum 350. But I was aiming this way. The ball went that way.
And it went
That's a fun game.
wrong way. What was it?
That's either Pac-Man or...
Yes. Correct.
I was going to say, that's either Pac-Man or
Galaga.
Galaga. There you go. That's the other one. But yeah. Didn't have fun. No, I had fun. Didn't have good rounds.
Yeah, it happens.
We didn't have good rounds. We were playing tournaments, scramble tournaments, which between four of us, we couldn't even make one good player.
That's all right. It happens.
But it was probably, the sun had probably a lot to do with it. Cause
Oh, absolutely. In that heat, yeah.
Insane. So freaking hot. Like, I'm pretty sure.
I did a bunch of yard work at the house here. My son and I were working on the house today.
But is
doing a
the
bunch
back
yard
of your
work.
knees sunburned?
No, because we did that. When he got up at 7 o'clock, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go out and trim the front bushes that I had to do." I'm like, you know what? We got a lot more to do than that. We got to cut some trees, some branches down.
So what you're saying is you guys did it the smart way.
We went
were
early.
Still semi-cool.
Yeah, when we were done at 11:30, dropping off the last load of landscape material that we used over at the dump, we were looking at 102 degrees.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, not terrible.
Not too bad. It's only
it was terrible.
It's only dying temperature.
Yeah, I left the truck running with the AC cooled seats on. I was like, you get back in after getting everything out. I was like, oh,
I forgot you have cooled seats.
Yeah, it's nice.
I wish I had cooled seats. I only have heated
Wish you had
seats.
AC.
Yeah, my AC's kind of.
So you need to go to the shop that I went to.
Yeah.
Took the wife's Jeep there. We had a weird O2 fuel sensor issue.
Mm-hmm.
Took it in, and it was actually a intake manifold gasket that had a pinhole leak in it, so it caused it to lean out.
Yeah.
He did all of that, a full tune up. So brand new plugs, cleaned out the fuel injectors, and then found my coolant bottle was cracked.
Yeah.
Which it was cracked high, so it wasn't leaking out too much coolant, but a little bit was coming out. So they fixed that, and it was less than $1,000.
See, that's not bad.
And then
They
we
had
took
to
my
tear-
son's
they had to
Jeep
tear
in,
stuff
which I
apart.
just fixed.
Oh yeah.
So I put the new fan and the new resistor unit in it, which I
And they
did
fixed it
completely
all.
right. Except the fan I did was
the wrong fan.
wound the different way, so it had to get rewired again. So I asked him about
Look
it,
at-
and
look
he
at
was
you and
like,
wiring
"That's
problems."
twice."
Yeah.
So I talked to him, and he said that your Jeep specifically
Mm-hmm.
has 2 different fan settings. And he said you have to actually look at each fan, because even if you buy it for the same one,
Yeah.
it's the right part number, but it's wired different. So I said that they'll come with a wiring diagram as to what's the positive, what's the negative, and he goes, "You did everything right.
Yeah.
It's just that it was wired the other direction."
Ooh.
So he's like, it was a reverse winding, so it was like could have been
So
an
it was
English
turning.
vehicle that had a right-hand drive instead of a left-hand drive, so everything's flipped.
Oh, okay.
So the
okay.
fan, the HVAC system's on the other side. I
is-
know. So
Figured they would basically have.
no, because the fan can't be under your legs, because that whole HVAC system where it's at would block the steering.
Oh, okay.
So when they
Now-
right-hand drive it,
now
a couple of
things
things
are
are a
starting
little
to make
flip. So anyway, either way, how it came out to is that it was just spinning the wrong direction again. So $65 is what he charged me to diagnose, fix it, make sure everything's running good, and it's blowing cold AC again. And he did say I diagnosed the right part. He said when your fan kept shutting off like that,
Yeah.
it's because the resistor was bad. So he said you diagnosed the right part, and he said you changed both the resistor and the fan, which is never a bad decision. He said it's a
Yeah.
good decision to do that. He goes, keep your other fan because it's a good fan. Just know when you do it. He goes, the way we did our wiring is we have 2 easy plugs. You can just switch them back and forth. So if it doesn't blow, just switch the ones next time. He said you're easy, right?
Sorry,
if it
I'm
doesn't
a
blow,
child.
just switch.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
I couldn't help myself. But that reminded me of something random that...
That was so late.
yeah, it was.
That's okay.
I wish I would have thought about it.
It's
But,
still funny.
So that reminded me something. So you've seen those Instagram stuff, the reels, all that stuff where they're like, what's one of those things that you didn't learn
Oh, yeah.
or when you learned
Wish
it,
you knew, blah, blah,
wish
blah.
you knew
yeah.
beforehand, or how old were you when you learned this thing? There we go. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I was absolutely an adult, full on adult, probably late 20s, when I knew that fans, like the ceiling fans, have a little switch for wintertime.
You're a moron.
I live in Arizona. Like, what am I?
I
We
knew
don't
it,
do
but I
that.
lived in upstate New York when we didn't have AC in the house, so you had to know which way that you wanted that switch to be for cooling. So I get it.
Like, we don't.
Yeah.
You do that all year round. It spins the same way all
Yeah,
year
in
round.
Arizona, it does. That's true. That's
So-
funny. Oh my
But
god!
I never knew that. And so you do it because you used to have the heaters in the ground that came up.
Radiators, yes.
Radiators and yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're called radiators.
Regardless. Well.
Switchy.
Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah. But yeah. I was
What's this little button do?
full-on-
Oh, it goes the other direction.
Full on adult that before I found that out.
That's funny. That's funny.
Didn't know fans went the
Well, I
other
mean,
way.
you wouldn't think about it if you didn't know. Like, I mean, so I had radiator heat in my house in New York.
Yeah.
So we had a big boiler in the basement, and it used natural gas to heat the water, which circulated around the house, and it was terrible because every room turns into 6,000 degrees because it has to all that water heats up through, and then the water has to exchange heat to the air, and if you leave your door closed, you're gonna die because it's so hot until it gets all the way down to the. Because in order to make the room by the thermostat, or to make the hallway by the thermostat warm, you have to heat this room to 6,000 Kelvin to get it to transfer slowly to that. So in the middle of the winter, I'd have my door shut and my friggin' window open because I'm dying in the friggin' room. It was so hot. So my parents came in one morning to wake me up, and it had snowed overnight, and there was snow inside my room. So I had, the heat's cranked on in the house, and I'm eyeballs deep in the blanket, and there's snow on the floor next to my window. They lost their minds. You have the freaking window open. No wonder the house doesn't heat up. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's 900 degrees in here.
And now you live in Arizona where it's 900,
It's 900 degrees, and I
outside.
have to keep the AC on. And I yell at my kids for not closing the.
Who touched the thermostat?
No, because they want it colder, and I'm happier with that.
Oh, yeah.
The wife does not like it cold. So she's wearing shorts and a tank top, and we're all sweating in there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, put on some pants if you're cold. We're going to drop it 2 degrees. No, it's going to be too cold. And then she covers up with a blanket.
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough living with a woman sometimes
Oh, yes.
because you're just like, it's so hot in here. Because maybe that's just a regular guy thing. I don't know. I've never really asked
both my
people.
son and daughter are both like, it's hot as hell in here. And she's like, no, it's perfect. Yeah, it's because her heart rate's like 40 beats a minute. She's one heartbeat away from
Yeah.
being dead.
Oh,
She
so
has
actually-
terrible, her blood pressure is 100 over 70 something. She's very, very healthy. She's runs all the time. She's in good shape, but it's if you cut her, she bleeds out in 16 days. She has no blood pressure. It's ridiculous.
That's kind of that reminds me. So I had a situation. Well, I think I might have talked about this prior, but when I had my accident with the Prius,
Yeah. Your blood pressure is 190.
it was insane. The guy, I never seen paramedics look.
You never
have-
seen or you've never seen?
I've never seen paramedics.
Okay, I just
look-
wanted to make sure your English was correct and it wasn't across the way.
It wasn't across. Yeah, at least it wasn't across the way. But
See, when you said across, you couldn't even do it wrong.
I tried. But I've never seen a paramedic look shocked like that, especially if they're coming up to an
Well, yeah,
accident. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like usually they're just like they're very focused. They've seen tons of accidents. That's kind of what they do, or well, they're responding to traumatic things on a regular basis. And he just gives me this look, and he's like, "Do you have high blood pressure?" No, actually, my blood pressure's pretty good. I'm like 122 over 74 ish. That's usually my blood pressure. And he's like, "Oh, because your heart rate's 194, and your blood pressure is like 205 over 150 something."
Yeah.
And they were like, "How are you?"
They're getting ready. Getting ready to put the nitro on you and slow you down, keep you from having a heart attack.
Well, and that was the crazy thing. After I thought about it, later down the road, I thought about it, and I was like, this was probably bare minimum like 15, 20 minutes after the accident had happened. But it was just that adrenaline.
Well,
going.
the adrenaline
I was so
dump,
angry. I was angry.
No.
Stupid
You still
face.
have a fear for Priai.
Yes, I do. Oh. Healthy fear, though.
Yes.
It's a healthy fear. It's like being afraid of rattlesnakes.
Yep. Smart.
Which, yeah.
We haven't seen any of them around. I haven't seen too many around lately.
Knock on wood.
Oh, I mean, I hit one with a car the other day, but oops.
Hey. They deserved
And I
it.
picked my feet up. I'm in my AT4,
fear.
and I picked my feet up.
Healthy fear of
Yeah.
rattlesnakes. That's why.
I've hit them on the motorcycle before. That's even scarier.
I've actually had one on an ATV where they're
Get kicked up
they're
by the tire?
snapping- Well, no, they're snapping
Oh.
at the tire. They're
Okay.
over here like trying to get. I was like, well, at least you're snapping at the tire, not me.
Not
but-
my leg, which is the same height as the tire.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
But yeah, rattlesnake. Surprisingly, no rattlesnakes. Like I said, knock on wood.
Well, it's been warm enough, I think, that normally
should be
when you
out.
see them when they're in the cold.
That's
So like right now, you sleep at
abnormal.
night. I'm awake during the night.
yeah.
So I see them at night when they're coming out and getting on the roadway to get warm, and they.
Sorry,
You're too slow.
I played
Ooh,
golf earlier.
You just looked like a happy dragon. Anyway,
the happy dragon.
yes, but yeah. So I mean, I see them at night because they come out on the road to get warm
Yeah.
to go hunt. So that's when you normally see them, is that evening time, and during the day, even snakes are like, it's too damn hot out, 103 degrees. My snake belly's getting hot.
Yeah.
So they stay down at night, and then they hunt, or stay down during the day, and they get out and go hunt at night. So,
Yeah, because they have it's like thermal vision kind of thing.
oh yeah, that and the great sense of smell,
Imagine-
taste-ish.
Imagine they're like predators.
They are amazing.
Well, not like predators, like the type of animal, but yeah.
That wasn't too bad. That was more of a purr.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a cat.
Yeah, well, meow. I am right meow.
I am, yeah. No, like the Predator movie. Imagine seeing in that. Well,
I wonder if he saw the smoke. The Predator.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? They had that on Instagram. I saw that where somebody did like they did the thermal video of farts. And people were farting, and you see the thermal.
And you see the
That just made me laugh about that. I was like, oh my God. It's like, and you see it, and oh my God. I laughed so hard when I saw that one. That was one of those I
random
laughed.
people in public too.
So see, now, I'm going to say this about the AC unit. I just adjusted it so it's shooting it up above, and it's feeling cooler in here, way better than having it underneath, blowing up. Underneath the table is great because it's
I
cooling
was
us
gonna
down,
say,
but
it cools down the giblets.
this is actually cooling the room, I feel like, better.
Yeah.
So I think we have to keep it that way and let it circulate the air.
And like, don't get me wrong, it's still warm in here,
Yeah.
but,
But it was 100 degrees versus whatever it is now is
this is
way nicer.
This is 100 times better.
So what we'll do when we do the next one is when we're set up for the next podcast, I'll just, when I get up in the morning, flick this thing on, let it keep the room cool all day.
It'll be, well, considering the size of it, I don't think it's going to cool down the whole area, but it'll still
That's
keep it
for 700
decent.
square feet, so it's
This
not
is-
too bad.
This is actually decent considering.
Yeah, because when
like-
you think about it, I think my garage is what?
It's
20 by 20? That's 400
So-
square feet.
probably a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah,
Plus
so
this
say
little area.
say 30 by 20. So that's 600 square feet. So it's
Yeah,
probably the
those-
max of what it could
Yeah,
do.
it's probably right in that range, and considering like
It's hot.
Yeah, it's super hot. And so this was the crazy thing. So we were out the other day, out in the sun, and I was like, "Holy crap, it's hot out!" It wasn't hot though. It was
Sure.
only
Tattooing.
no, it wasn't even that. So it was only 70 some degrees out, high 70s,
just the
low
sun
80s. The
cooking you.
sun. Holy crap! The sun just kills you out here.
Yeah, it does. Hey, you can get in the shade, even in this 100-degree. If you're in the shade,
No, it's fine.
it's bearable.
Yeah, it's you can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I hated it. So
Well, I mean, we really can't complain. I'm looking here.
alrighty, going over one of our sponsors, one of our founding sponsors here. It's going to be Sketchy Alias. He's a good buddy of mine. Known him for a long time. He is a freelance graphic designer from Arizona who specializes in vector-based artwork. It's actually really cool if you were to ever look into that. It's actually a cool thing. I've done a little bit of design myself, and he is amazing at it. He's shown me everything I've known so far, except for the stuff I learned myself, but he's taught me, even though I've done it for a while, he's taught me quite a few things, even recently. He's been working in design for over 15 years, and he works on everything from logos, apparel design, and social media. He's actually done a few stuff for us. He's done our logo, and looking forward to the stuff he's going to do for us because he's going to be doing all our artwork. So check him out. He's on Instagram. He has his own webpage. Go check out his stuff. Buy some of his merch. He is top notch.
I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
you gotta accept the weather when it comes, but at the same time, actually, isn't it even that? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But you gotta accept the weather when it comes, but it shouldn't be this hot this quickly.
No, it
because
shouldn't.
it kind of just flipped the
Well,
switch.
normally for us, August-ish is when it's really hot. Like when we hit August is when it gets really hot. That's when our monsoons roll in, so we get good rains, and
Yeah.
so that's when it'll be interesting. We'll be in here doing podcasts during monsoon and lose power, and that's going to be a nightmare.
But it'll smell so good in here, though.
The rain, the rain
Love
smell. Yeah. People think you're crazy though. Like when you're out here in the desert, you can smell the rain.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you smell it completely.
You smell it.
You tell
before-
somebody from the East Coast about that, they're like, "The hell are you talking about?" Because they've got moisture all the time.
Yeah.
But here you can smell it.
So
coming
you know
in.
what? So you know what that smell is?
I do not know.
I don't know. Remember? I don't remember when or what it was that brought this whole thing up, and I don't even remember if I looked into it or what it was. But apparently, that smell, especially out here in the desert, is the creosote bushes. Do you know which ones those are?
The creosote bushes,
The creosote, yeah,
the creosote,
creosote.
creosote. Yes,
So
Yeah.
creosote,
different,
They're-
same
yeah.
thing, same, but different.
same. So it's actually those bushes.
That makes sense.
That's what they smell like, and that's what the rain. When you're out here, that's the rain.
Activates
smell.
a creosote.
Yeah. So it's that, which, since I was saying it kind of in the language from out here, essentially, because a lot of people will say creosote, depends. Well, I mean, we live in Tucson, and then you
Yeah.
have sahuarita,
Yeah.
and some people say
Sarita.
Sarita. I was like, every time I hear that, I want to correct people and be like, you're missing a whole syllable.
Yeah, I still say sahuarita.
Yeah, but you're missing the people
Yeah.
that say it's Sarita, and it's like you're missing a whole syllable.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like how?
It's the same people who say it crossed
Yeah, probably.
or ask me a question.
X. Yeah, you're probably right. But
Yeah, they added a whole new. Instead of getting ASK as ask, it's AX. I don't know what X is. Add an E and you can chop somebody up with that thing.
yeah, right. It's. Oh, that reminded me too of another one. Again, SOS is probably going to be bad today because it's probably because of the sun.
Because your brain's cooked.
Yeah, because the sun kind of took me out a little bit. But have you ever seen this video of these people where it says people with a Boston accent
Oh yeah.
say
Take my car to the pack.
no? It was Aaron something with an iron urn. Oh, maybe I'll have to look it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some Bostonians say some stuff, and you have no idea what the hell they're saying. There's definitely some thick Boston accents.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, here it is. I actually found it right away. Let me put this over to your screen too, so you can actually see it.
Let's take a look here.
But it's the funniest thing, and let me mirror it. And here we go. I'm gonna pull it up for you, and let me check something so people can actually hear this too.
On Bluetooth, they should be able to hear it. Yeah.
No, because it's gonna throw it through the through the thing here. So let's pull this up, and we'll be able to hear it in the headphones. Baltimore accent.
I said, Baltimore accents, say this phrase out loud. Earn, and iron. Hold on,
Aaron earned an iron earned.
Except that's a Baltimore.
Aaron,
Oh, sorry, Baltimore. I thought it was Boston.
Earn. Damn, what the f*** did he talk like that?
Well, but
Earn.
he had that epiphany too when he was doing it. This is an old one already.
What? Earn.
Earn.
That is funny. It is funny.
That's not the funniest thing. And people,
But that's just
that's the accents, right? Like,
Yeah.
You were talking about acts and all that kind of thing.
yeah.
Is that not funny though?
That is.
'Cause
I mean, it's definitely something that's interesting.
It's different,
Yeah, for sure.
but it goes along with that whole thing. And
Well, I mean, it's like I had a buddy who I know from like deep south, and hearing him try to speak Spanish was hilarious. Like,
well, I mean,
yo hablo el español. Like what? No.
it is funny. It is funny trying to
Yeah.
see certain people try to speak Spanish. I
Well-
mean, especially because we're here in
Yeah.
Tucson. There's certain places you
Yeah.
gotta kind of try sometimes.
I'd like a taco. A taco.
The taco. Well, and then you go, okay, so you got
You got a quesadilla?
that's the tortilla.
Tortillas, yeah.
Tortilla.
Can I get some more tortilla chips?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But the funny thing,
There's nothing. What can you do? It just
you laugh at it. Honestly, you
Yeah.
just laugh at it.
very true.
But so in Texas, it's a certain
Careful.
part of Texas. I know people from Texas that they're like, that's a burrito,
Burrito.
like-
Yeah,
and I was like, this is a taco.
yeah.
It's a soft taco. They're like, we call it a burrito.
That's a
too.
burrito there.
And I'm like, what?
It's a soft taco. It's not a burrito. Burrito's deep fried. You don't deep fry burritos.
Those are enchiladas.
Those are enchiladas.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funniest thing though. It just comes with.
It's that one section of Texas. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I know
think
exactly.
it's somewhere in the valley. Maybe.
Yeah, like RGV,
somewhere in there.
Rio Grande Valley, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. But it doesn't matter. It's. But that just goes to like everything that when you think about how things work, a lot of stuff is very, very regional. Like soda.
Soda
On the East Coast, you call it a soda. Somewhere else, it's a pop.
and Coke.
Coke, yep. And that's Coke's not
What kind of-
Coca-Cola.
what kind of
It's,
Coke do you
what
want?
kind of Coke you want?
Yeah. What
Coke?
Coke?
Oh,
Like-
okay. You want a Coke, not a Pepsi Coke.
Not a Dr Pepper.
And
Coke.
then in some areas, like, what do you call the thing at 7-Eleven that you have with all the ice and stuff in
Slushy.
it? Slushy.
Slurpee.
Or a Slurpee. Don't say that in Wisconsin.
What do they call it in Wisconsin?
A Slurpee is a BJ. Yeah, so if you go into a 7-Eleven and say, hey, you got a Slurpee?
Maybe do say that in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
then.
maybe. So, like, that's
Depends who you're talking to, I guess.
craziest thing I'd ever heard when I had somebody say that to me. I'm like, there's no way. And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You ever
like-
been to Wisconsin?
Yes, I have. I have never asked for a Slurpee there, though.
I was going to say, did you ask for a Slurpee? 'Cause
No, I did not. I got
I would-
cheese, though.
I would
I
totally
got some
ask
good
for-
Wisconsin cheese curd, though.
Cheese curds are awesome. Mm-hmm. They're so good. I love cheese.
My thing with
Like-
cheese curd, if it doesn't squeak when you bite into it, it's not good. It's gotta squeak.
gotta squeak.
It's gotta have the squeak. And you know, if you've ever had cheese curd, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So
It is a squeaky food.
from cheese curd, I'm going to go to a different topic.
Okay. What do you got?
Watching some old shows on History Channel. I watched an old Pawn Stars episode the other day. Forgot how much I love that show.
It's
Like, I'm
such
going to
a good
have to
show.
go back and, like, start streaming them because I want to see them all again. Like, the stuff that comes into that shop, and I know some of it's staged. It's going to be. It's
It
TV.
has to be.
I think I'm going to say one of the few shows that I believe is not staged.
We're getting attacked by dogs.
Yeah, they're all coming out to say hi. Thank you, Shotzi. Thank you. Go outside. Shotzi, outside.
So-
Get outside. Go.
No, that show. So when I was younger, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't huge on.
Wrong one. So you can
I didn't
clip
know you
it.
were asking for-
You
I
can
didn't know
clip
you
it now. That's a good one. Sorry, this cough is killing me. But anyway,
I was totally lost there for a second.
but yeah, like I hated it. I didn't hate it when I was younger. Like I
didn't
thought, I
hate it.
found it was interesting, but it wasn't
There were
something I'd
certain
like.
things that were kinda
Now I'm like,
cool.
I want to watch those episodes. Like the stuff that comes in there is amazing.
Well, and then I like the fact that they would bring in history to it. They'd bring in, oh, well, this is from.
Well, they're
this
expert. Oh, this is
time
from this dynasty or this, or like the lady who brought in the Fabergé egg or the Fabergé,
The Fabergé.
brooch.
Oh yeah, the brooch.
The brooch. There was like some spider brooch or something, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, I'll take 1,000," and he's like, "I'll give you 10,000 for it. It's worth it's worth 35. I'll give you 10." So I mean, he's still making money, but
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
he's so honest, and that's what I like about him. Is at least he's honest. Like
Yeah.
you know, you're going to a pawn shop. You're not going to get top dollar like you would if you sold it yourself to an expert who knew what they were buying, or the problem, even if you went and put it in at an auction.
Yeah.
Now you're spending, so depending on the
X amount
auction,
of money.
10%, 20% goes to the auction house.
Yeah,
So it
absolutely.
depends. But I mean, you got to know you're not going to get the best deal. And we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, the Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, by the Chicago Police Department.
They have many chapters throughout the United States and international. We are part of the Tucson chapter, and Eric is actually national president, and he got to go visit our international brothers down in Italy.
And moved on and saw some friends that we met in Italy and Qatar. But we're a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on law enforcement and first responder families in their times of need, whether it be a death, financial issue. We're there to help support our brothers and sisters in blue.
Yep. Anything they need or their families need, we usually try to help out anything we can, any way we can, financially, or even if it's just moral support, being there for them, being able to help them out with anything they need or we can do for them.
So if you're interested in donating to the Legion of St. Michael, reach out to any of the chapters through us, through our many social media profiles that we have set up.
Being Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, YouTube, or Rumble. Any one of those you can reach out to us, or you can reach out to us on our email, bikesmikesandidiots@gmail.com, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can so you can help us out and do whatever you can.
And once again, thank you to Legion of St. Michael as a founding member.
Have you ever been to a pawn shop? Have you ever had to pawn anything?
I've gone to a few. I've never pawned anything, but I've gone to pawn shops to buy things like fire. I've actually bought some pretty cool firearms there because
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
there are
They
ones
have
that they don't. The guy who owned that pawn shop didn't know exactly what he had.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I picked it up and I was like, it was like $100. He had it for $100, and I was like, I went and I looked up the price on it. It was like $700. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll get that right now.
So I had bought a 1911 at a pawn shop once. And
What year?
It was a 1911. Oh, what year did I buy it?
Yeah. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know 1911. You know why they call it the 1911?
Because that's the year it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was the 19. I think there's a 1912 also. No, I think there is.
It's a 19.
It's
It's going to be rare if it is. I don't know.
It's a 1912. It's not. It's just basically an upgraded 1911.
Well, it's still the same
It's-
model that you can buy
And it's-
today.
And I think it's just calibrated.
They really
Whatever-
haven't. They
whatever
really
they-
haven't changed the 1911 much
No.
in the. I mean, some minor
The-
things here and there,
the
but
Sig Sauer. That one's.
Yeah.
That one's.
it's a new design.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a. Same basis. It's just the shape of the slide's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I had bought a 1911. I bought a Taurus 1911 there. Loved that gun. I would, at like 25 yards, I'd put a grouping probably, what's that, 3 inches?
That's what I tell her. No, it's a
I mean,
3-4 inch group. That's a 4-inch group right there, probably.
So at 25 yards,
That's good.
that's pretty damn good.
Let me guess, you sold it.
I did. So it was a Taurus. I didn't think. Hey, I was working. I was upgrading.
I'm going to get a
stuff. This was long
Springfield.
time.
I'm going to get something else. Yeah.
And so a buddy of mine bought it from me. He ended up getting it checked out for who knows what reason. And he told me later, and then I was like, if you ever sell it, let me know.
Yeah.
Because I'll buy it back from you. He got it checked out. Turns out the reason it shot so well, it had an Ed Brown competition barrel in it.
Yeah, that'll do
That
it.
barrel alone is $500.
Yep.
And
You
I got-
messed up.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You
it
don't
had
know
that
what
barrel.
you don't know what you don't know until you don't know that you knew it.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's somewhere there.
We'll go with that.
Somewhere there. And so I had bought that at a pawn shop. So sometimes they don't know what they have.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
Well, they're
I
not
didn't
going to
know.
take it apart and look at the barrel and all that. It's a Taurus 1911.
Yeah, it's a Taurus 1911.
Yeah.
Shot that gun shot. I wish I had that again. Though.
I had
It
a
was
Springfield
amazing.
Armory Combat Loaded 1911, stainless and black. Loved it, and I sold it, and I regret it.
There's
There's a
sometimes-
few guns I regret getting rid of.
So it's similar to cars
Yeah.
too. Like you get
Oh,
those
yeah.
lemons, but then there's certain ones that are just. It's those Wednesday.
It's the
cars,
Wednesday
I'd say.
build. It's like
Yeah,
your
the
bike.
Wednesday, yeah,
Your bike is a Wednesday bike.
it's just it has that little bit
Ooh,
extra.
and well, we talked Pawn Stars for like 2 seconds, so I want to
Yeah.
stay on those shows a little bit.
No.
Well, I'll talk about suspension another time, but it's on the
Yeah.
bike. So
You finally got it on.
finally on.
You got a chance to ride it with it.
Yes, and I'll give you my response on another show.
Yeah,
But
but at least it's on there.
yeah, it's on there, and I'm happy. We'll
But-
go with that. But so
but the whole-
back to
but
those
the whole
shows,
Pawn
like,
Star thing.
they the swords they bring in, the American history stuff that they bring in, like the lithographs of presidents, and all this stuff is just
Did
amazing.
you see when he went and saw the actual suit of George Washington? One of the
Yes.
suits, and then the guy was talking about George Washington was 6'2".
Yeah,
He was huge
yeah, he was a big guy.
for back in
Yeah.
that time. Like, he
Well,
was-
that's why he was such a prominent figure. And I was a Mason. I'm still technically a Mason, but one of the lodges I belonged to had one of George Washington's aprons. It's the Valley Forge apron,
really
and it's well known to be in the lodge that I was in. So
that's pretty cool.
amazing, amazing stuff, amazing history.
But it's just one of those things where it's like a cool way to introduce history.
Yeah, it
Right.
is, and it's not like that's why I always wondered. Like for a long time, I wondered why it was on the History Channel.
Yeah,
Why would Pawn Stars be on the hit? But because a lot of historical items come in there.
I don't know if at the beginning it did.
No,
but
no,
it
no.
did
at the
really
beginning,
start.
it kind of moved that way, and that's where I think obviously it's a show. They tape it, they do editing and all that. So I mean, I think they've kind of focused it that way. One of the shows that I watch all the time, I'm looking forward to. It comes out. I think it just started or it's coming out in a couple of weeks. I have everything on DVR, so I don't know when it comes on. When it shows up on my DVR, I grab it.
Hey,
But Deadliest Catch.
oh yeah, that's a good
Love
show.
that show. Like I think of all of them. Like there's some stage things there as well. Obviously, it's a show.
Pretty much anything that's on TV.
But what those guys go through in the ocean to
Yeah.
bring food to our table, like, amazes me.
Then you have the rare blue lobster,
Yeah, like the rare blue lobsters they get in Maine,
and then they toss
in the
it
harbor.
In the harbor. Yeah.
But like these guys are out there in
When
waves
you said
that
it
are
reminded me of Ted.
in the harbor.
The movie Ted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. You know why?
Because he's from Boston.
Boom. So, I mean, those guys on the Deadliest Catch, you see them go over those waves on those boats. And it's like, I understand why it's $30 a pound for crab. And these guys are like literally waves
their
washing
life.
over. Like that's, I want to say it was Deadliest Catch. They said they caught the first video of a real rogue wave that had ever been seen on that one episode where they're just.
I don't think I ever saw.
Oh,
that.
they're just sitting there, and this wave comes from the. Like the waves are all going from front. The boat's taking them over the bow, and this wave comes from the side, and it hit them so hard it rolled the boat over, and it uprighted itself.
Yeah.
But like you went and looked, there was water in the captain's cockpit there. I mean, in the the bridge. That whole boat was like just almost destroyed. They were lucky they didn't sink. Like it went all the way over and came back up, and it was actually, they said, one of the first videotaped rogue waves. So like before then, it was like, oh, rogue waves, they could be real, they might not be real. And they're like, oh, they're real. There it is.
Like the Kraken.
So they're going over 20-foot waves, and all of a sudden this 60-foot wave hits them from the side and just smoked them. I mean, just it's scary. Like I see those, like the captains are usually pretty calm, and I remember one of them, Sig Hansen. The wave came in. He's like, get down, get down, get down. He's yelling to everybody, and he goes and he hides like under the steering wheel. Like he got below the windows, and it hit the bow of the ship so hard that it bent the bow of the ship.
Damn.
Like it dented in the bow of the ship, and it's like, water's no joke.
No,
The ocean's no joke. And as I say this, my son's looking into the Naval Academy. He made it through the first selection portion.
Well, that's
so now
awesome.
he's on the second section. So now he's working on that for next year, and he will join the Navy or the Air Force one way or another, I think. But it's kind of cool seeing all that.
Mindset,
he's in. Wants to be a helicopter pilot. Crazy, but those things drop like bricks. But anyway, as a parent, you'll always be worried.
Usually, air travel's a little bit safer than most other travel.
Well, yeah, I mean,
technically,
yeah,
based on statistics.
Based on statistics.
But
oh, hey, that sounded like a helicopter.
It actually kind of does.
Oh, I'm good
But
like that.
the thing that's been going through my mind for a little bit, the whole TED thing. And
Ted, in the harbor. Hey, ready? I'm going to do the helicopter. Ready?
Ooh. Look at you. It's almost like you're that's actually pretty loud. It's almost like you're that guy from the police academy.
Yeah, pretty good.
With all the
It's
sound
not bad.
effects.
It's not bad. I did good.
But you're such an idiot. But so Seth MacFarlane obviously made Ted.
Yeah.
He does the voices and all that thing. And it's the funniest thing. Do you ever watch Family Guy?
Yeah, he does like half the voices there.
Well, yeah. But he hates on Tucson.
Oh,
and also hates on ASU. But
yeah, he hates ASU and he hates Tucson, which is fine.
it's the funniest thing, though. The
Yeah.
funniest. Like,
Well,
I laugh
Tucson's
at
in
it.
a ton of music, videos, movies. Like honestly,
It actually
Tucson,
is.
it's kind of weird.
It actually is. Well, you had old Tucson out here.
Well, Old Tucson Studios was out here. Like the movie The Wraith was filmed out here.
Really?
Yes.
I actually didn't know that
You
one.
did not know the movie The Wraith was filmed out here? Oh, yes. Yeah, movie The Wraith was filmed out here. Out in Roller Coaster Road is where a lot of those videos were taken. Some of it up on
fun
Mount
road.
Lemon. Also, Seals with Charlie Sheen as well was filmed out here.
Really?
Yep. As was Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't buy
That
me
was
love,
a school
Yeah.
out here, and the graveyard. The airplane graveyard was used in that.
in Transformers.
Yep. And Transformers, yep. I actually saw those trucks bringing in those trucks, like the trucks that were chasing down the Transformers through there. It was crazy. Like they had them all coming through here. It was like awesome. Like they're all on flatbeds getting pulled in. You're like, whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then you see it in the movie. You're like, oh, well, that's what they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, half the time you don't know what's actually going on, and then it
But
finally
yeah, in
comes
the Wraith,
out.
you'll see there's a couple of scenes where they come in to get Gutter Boy and all that, and they're they're pulling airplane parts apart.
That's cool.
So, and that's where they're getting like the hydraulic fluid that they drink and all that crap because they're idiots. But yeah, that was all filmed out here. So there's been a lot of movies, westerns. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, tons
So
of
many
westerns.
westerns.
Well, and that was the big thing of old Tucson, because Tombstone, a lot of Tombstone
Yes.
was filmed out here.
Yep.
Although Tombstone was basically down the road from here, but
Yeah, but the town in Tombstone wasn't a great filming location. You couldn't do what you wanted to do. John Wayne filmed a lot of movies down in the San Rafael Valley. They filmed movies down there in what they call the Big House. It's a historic house down here. Really super cool. And surprisingly, my wife's grandmother has pictures of her and her son and the wife's uncle, with actually with John Wayne. Pictures with John Wayne.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. That going full circle on it. There was, it keeps popping up because I've been watching Pawn Stars on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Where our show pops up.
Yeah.
But there was, I don't know why this episode sticks out of my head, where that guy brings in the John Wayne hat.
Oh yeah.
And then they have John Wayne Jr. come in, and he's like, it doesn't. He's like, this hat, because my dad's head.
Yeah.
He's like, this hat should go down to my ears, and he goes,
Yep. Not the right hat.
yeah.
I don't believe the expert.
Hats shrink. My hats definitely have shrunk in my collection. It's like,
Yeah. Okay,
that
buddy.
is funny. But they have filmed a lot of stuff out here. Like,
Yeah.
Three Amigos.
Yes.
They filmed part of that out
Yep.
here.
Out in
And
Old
actually,
Tucson.
my dad always brought it up. Love that movie. My son loves that movie.
It's a good movie.
It's
funny.
It is.
It's
hilarious.
a funny movie.
So, and he got to meet Chevy Chase and Steve Martin and Martin Short. He got to meet all three of them because he was one of the extras. He was one of the banditos.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So there's a Polaroid.
So tell me, how far down do you wanna go? Sorry. You said banditos.
Yeah. So there's an old Polaroid of him in the whole outfit and the whole getup.
Nice.
So I'll
See, and I just thought that was a Saturday for your family.
I mean, we have lived in Tucson for a long time, so
Well, that's good, But no, I mean, this is a whole historic area. Like when you think about it, there's a lot of stuff that happened out here. Like, literally, Tombstone is just amazing.
Well,
It's an amazing little town, and they've really brought it back to the era and made it really cool.
So there's a crazy thing. So we used to go hunting out like north of Douglas area. We used to always
Elfrida?
go hunting out there.
That's the Elfrida
it's east.
area.
It's
Oh,
east.
east.
Of that. So like Turkey Creek area.
Oh, Turkey Creek, yeah.
Yeah.
You can find Ringo's.
So we didn't know that.
Oh.
So we used to hunt out there forever, and then we
Up near
became-
the Chiricahua National Monument. That's out
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little east of that.
It's out 86.
Yeah. So we used to hunt out there forever, and we had made friends with one of the ranchers out there and all this stuff. He's this old man. He had this dog he had. So he had it was a Great Dane Rottweiler mix.
I thought you were going to say Great Dane Chihuahua mix, and I was going to be like, uh-huh.
I don't know how that
It's a
would
great Wawa.
happen. A great Wawa. No, so it was a Great Dane Rottweiler mix. He was a massive dog.
Oh, yeah.
So like he was way bigger than what a Rottweiler would be. But
And way more muscular than a Great Dane.
Yeah, he was just this massive. The old man would ride him. Well, not actually ride him, but
Yeah.
he'd sit on him, and he would sustain his weight. He's just he could basically ride him.
He was a horse.
He was
Mini horse.
little horse dog. And so we used to hunt out there. He had a bunch of stuff, but we had become friends with him. We would always go out before our hunting trips. We'd go out there and go visit him and be like, hey, we're going to go hunting. He'd always give us the keys to the whole ranch so that we could go out wherever we wanted on his property. And he had, I don't even remember how many acres, but I know it was probably 10,000 acres, if not more.
Well, they get
had
those
a
big land
ton.
leases out there that they've had forever for those ranches.
Yeah. And he would tell us stories about how his grandma or his mom or his grandma, I don't remember, they used to sit out on the back porch with a shotgun loaded with nails in it. Right?
Yep.
That's back in the day. And
Cheaper
we
than
didn't-
rounds.
We didn't.
Well, and those
we
are
didn't
probably
know.
black powder shotguns back in the day, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you put black powder in there and you stuff whatever's sharp in there just to make it, make like a blunderbuss like in
Yeah,
the
pretty much
Pirates.
like a We got to do one of those episodes.
Oh, God.
But so he would tell us these stories. We didn't know about it at first, and we'd hunted out there for years, and then come to find out Johnny Ringo's cave is pretty much right behind his ranch, right behind his ranch house. It's like a couple 100 yards, pretty much.
Yeah, so there's a
And-
trail out there now.
Yeah,
You have to
can
go
right
in.
in through. It was always there. We just didn't know about
Yeah.
it. Like that, because you're getting up towards the ranch house. We just really didn't pay too much attention. We're like, well, we're here. We're gonna go.
Well, you're going to go hunt. You're going
You're
to
gonna
stay
go-
off the local, his main house. You don't want to
had
mess
get
with him.
But anytime we were in that area, it was either, if we're driving through to another spot or we're getting close to the house, so we're not hunting here. We're not focusing too much off the road. We're paying attention to what's on the road. So we had found that out, visited a few times. Come to find out, so there was it was called like Sunglow Mission, I believe, or something like that. That was down the road from there, from his ranch area, and we stayed there a few times also, and they did like horse rides, trail rides, all that kind of stuff. They did a bunch of stuff there, but it was basically little like townhouses you could rent out,
like a little bed and breakfast type thing.
Yeah. Well, so they had a house on there. It's old house on there, and that's where they would do the breakfast at. So then they had changed owners and stuff. Like someone else had bought them out, and they were like, "Well, this house isn't big enough anymore to do the breakfast. We want a newer thing
facility, better kitchen."
Turns out that house was Johnny Ringo's house, and they tore it down.
Oh, that's sad.
To build
property,
a new breakfast area where they would host the breakfast.
That's
and all that stuff. When I found that, I was like, because we'd been there a bunch of times and all that stuff, didn't know, and then found out.
Yeah,
and then come to find out they did that, and I was just like, why? Why would you not just leave that there
and then do something?
You have tons of property.
Well, they probably didn't think about like. They could have charged people $5. Come check out Johnny Ringo's house. Put it back to where it would have like kind of been like in the day. And this is Johnny Ringo's house. Like people don't think about that,
And luckily, I was lucky enough to where I got to do it and got to see it and got to have breakfast in there and everything too. But that's so sad to think about. They tore it down just because they were like, we needed a better facility to do this in. And they have, like I said, they had more than enough property that they could have left that there as a historic site to
well, the other problem though with historic sites is it is expensive to maintain a historic site. It is. So when you have a registered historic site, if you have it as, hey, this was Johnny Ringo's house, people would pay even a couple of bucks for people to walk in there and, wow, this is John, and then down the road is his grave site. Yeah. Which now even the grave site, they had to block it off because people went in and all that. And so it's kind of fenced off, and they ask you for donations and stuff to get in there. And it's kind of cool still, though. I haven't been out there in a while. I want to go out and see it now that they've kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But I think that'd be pretty cool to go out and see it. Maybe we'll have to do that one time and take some video of us over there with the Johnny Ringo site.
Yeah, I was going to say, we definitely can't ride there, though.
No. Well, you can ride out to Chiricahua. Yeah. You can ride out to the side of the road.
Riding that dirt road to that site.
I'm not afraid.
I mean,
I have new suspension.
Oh, so it makes it all better.
No. Yeah, that'll be one of those, we take a truck or the Jeep.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, that's cool. Like that history, and that's the cool thing with shows like Pawn Stars. They bring up some of that history, and you get to see it. So as we circle back, like certain people say, circle back. Just call me Circle Back Jack over here. Yeah. So I mean, that's just one of those things that ability to see that. There's so much stuff left in this world that we can go see and do. And like I've been lucky. I've been to Rome. I've been to Qatar. I've gotten to go to the Maldives, which that's brand new. But I mean, I've gotten to see some old world areas. I've been to France, so I've seen some cool things across the world and been able to see cool stuff. South America, I've been to Belize. Oh yeah, I've been to Belize. Well, that's not technically South America, but I've been Belize, Cozumel, Honduras, Roatan. So I've gotten to go a lot of places across the world, and I've taken my kids there, my family there as well. And to get to see and show them some of these other places that, like, hey, the United States in the grand scheme of things, the U.S. is pretty new.
It's still pretty new.
The actual United States, not the landmass.
Yeah, the landmass has been there for a long time.
But I mean, the actual country of the United States is a fairly new country compared to everywhere else in the world. Oh yeah, it's one of the newest countries. I mean, newest major countries. There's little small countries that pop up and go here and there, but we're only 200 and something years old now, 1776. So 1996 was 200, so less than 300 years old.
So
2176 will be 20.
250.
Yeah, so
We're going to come up on
2176 will
250
be.
in a couple years.
So I mean, it's not new.
No.
You know, we're not, it's not old. I mean, in comparison to the rest of the world, we're very new.
No, yeah. It is a new place, but there's so much history here too.
And that's what people don't realize.
And
That's
then you
the
go
crazy
out,
part of it.
You go out to places where you find all the Indian ruins and stuff like that. And there's out in that same area where we used to go hunting, there's Indian ruins on there. Mm-hmm. And
you just see the old layouts of the little towns they
little
had.
adobe, well, they weren't actually adobe, but
the bricks
part of it's still,
and-
the bricks, and it's still standing. Part of it's still standing. It's not fully standing, but you'd see stuff like that. The sad part about that, so where we used to hunt, so the old man, his wife left him. He had gotten cancer. His wife had left him. He was doing real bad, and then his sister took over. And now we're not allowed. Now we're not allowed to hunt there anymore.
Yep.
We were the
Shut
only
down.
other. We were the only other people besides his nephews that would get to hunt on that land.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happens. People can move in. They don't want the people on their property anymore, and that's private property rights. We have that in the U.S. So
Yeah. And granted, yeah. But
my parents have a 360-acre farm that they don't allow anybody to hunt on except for family, and they have one other person that does. So I get that. I get it to a point.
But at the same time, we had built such a rapport,
Relationship with him that
with-
it just didn't pass on.
Yeah, with Jerry, we had built such a rapport with him. I had been hunting out there since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so we're talking 30-ish years now. Well,
Long time ago.
it was almost 30
30-something
years
years
when
ago,
it
yeah.
when it had finally. It was almost 30 years when we finally stopped not being able to hunt out there. But we were basically the only other people. We had a certain spot that was over by one of the creeks out there
Yep.
that we'd go.
And there's water there
camping
year
at.
round out there.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous area, especially. And then you can go. What is it? Maybe 10 miles up the road, and you're getting all greenery.
Yep.
It's all whitetail up there.
Yep.
Gorgeous area.
But
But-
yeah, it's all closed down now. All private.
Who knows? We don't
And
know.
it
if
might
they-
change now. Yeah, I haven't been out there in a while.
And who knows? Who knows if they are letting people hunt there or not? And or people probably have to pay to hunt there.
Yeah.
Who knows? And that's the thing. Different ownership. Granted, it's still the same family.
Yeah.
You would think they would maybe work with us a little bit. Like, oh yeah, I mean, you've been
Hunting here for the last
hunting
20
here for-
years.
20 plus years, and hey, we'll build a relationship. But no, that didn't happen. So we had to start hunting in different areas,
Yeah.
but it's amazing out there.
Oh, yeah.
All
That
the
whole
history
area
you
is
run into.
beautiful.
And there's old cabins out there and stuff
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah, the old trapper cabins and everything that's out there. And it's wild. It's a wild area out there. Like, it's
And
real
the
crazy.
craziest thing, well, Arizona hosts so many animals. Reason it's called Turkey Creek is because there's turkeys out there.
Oh, amazing.
But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
No, I
who
mean,
would
that's
think in Arizona you're gonna have turkeys?
Well, you have wild, of course they're wild. You have mule
Badgers.
deer, you have white-tailed deer, you have elk, you have bear, you have
Badgers.
mountain lions, badgers, Acudamunde. There's just
Those are
such
actually
a
cool animals.
such a grand scope of animals, but you also have low desert, high desert plains.
Yeah.
You have got the pines of like Pine Top and Show Low and Flagstaff. I mean,
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon. Like, you have so many different, diverse ecosystems. Perfect
That's why
word.
Biodome's out here also.
That is.
Hey, we could
Biodome 1
probably
and
go.
2. Another movie.
Hey, I was gonna say
Biodome.
we could
Yep.
actually probably go into that. We could
Oh, that'd be
probably go
funny.
into that. I mean, we're getting kind of short in time here, but maybe one day
Oh,
we'll
yeah. Maybe we'll
go into-
do a podcast from the Biodome. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, that would be awesome.
See if we can get Pauly Shore on there. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Sure.
Hey, can we get Pauly Shore or
What's his name? Oh, geez. Well, let's do a little
I just
quickie,
totally it's a Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin.
and it's called Biosphere, not Biodome. We're
A
thinking
Biosphere, yeah.
we're thinking We're thinking of the movies over
Yeah,
here.
the movie's Biodome, not Biosphere. It's Stephen Baldwin.
Oh, I put no. But
Telling you.
no, I did put Biodome.
Want to put a bet?
Came out in '96.
Stephen Baldwin.
It
Wanna put a bet?
is
Put a bet?
Pauly
Bet
Shore.
it?
Stephen Baldwin. Oh, random fact. I actually used to live, well, not really down the street, but it was like our house was here, his house was over here, but you had to go like
Yeah,
around this way to get
yeah. He
there.
had a private drive.
But he lived in Tucson.
Oh, there you go. Another
Stephen
Tucson
Baldwin.
native. So on Tucson natives, I think we're going to have to call it for the day. I want to thank the Legion of St. Michael and Sketchy Alias for being our founding sponsors. And I think we'll call it. So I'm going to say, live good,
Ride hard.
and we'll catch you next time. Maybe.